Whenever you encounter a target audience for the first time, especially in crisis situations such as we're in right now, whether that's a prospective customer, an investor, a member of the media, a narrative is going to start forming in their head as soon as you start communicating with them, meaning how they perceive you, your story, and your business. In today's video, I'm going to show you why it's important to control the narrative of this encounter and the steps you need to take so make sure this audience sees you and your startup in the way you want to see them, not theirs. Hi, I'm Graft, founder of Storytelling for Entrepreneurs, where we help founders leverage the power of story to launch and grow their business. In today's ever-changing environment, it's imperative that you get out in front of this perception and learn how to shape this narrative. Why? If you don't, they're going to do it for you. And trust me, you don't want that. Controlling the narrative is about controlling the audience's perception, because in their world, perception is reality, and narratives are how you mold and then shape this perception. Think of the times when you meet someone or encounter a brand for the first time. There's this brief moment right at the beginning of this encounter where you subconsciously start to form an opinion about that person or brand, and then it continues to develop as you spend more time with them. These moments, especially the initial ones, are crucial because this is when you have tremendous influence over that perception that starts to formulate in their head, because right away they're going to wonder what kind of mindset you have. Are you a do-it-at-all-costs, bust-through-walls type person, or are you a more nuanced individual that methodically navigates your way to success? They'll also wonder, what are you trying to do and how you will do it? Do you want to change the world, inspiring generations to come, or simply focus on a little niche that's going to create a nice little business? They're also going to wonder what kind of person to describe you as in their mind. Are you kind, caring, and empathetic, or maybe entertaining, fun, engaging, or are you all business, focused at the task at hand? Whatever it is, you want to make sure and project the image you want them to associate with you and your startup, or they're going to come up with their own and you're not going to have control over it. Now, to address this issue, I've come up with 4 things to help you take control of this narrative. First, you want to recognize that you have the ability to have control of it. Most founders don't realize that you're in control of what you say, who you say it to, and the manner in which you say it. You're also in charge of what you wear, the visuals that you show them, and the objects that you put in front of them. As a founder, you're constantly given opportunities to pitch your company, introductions of people that can help you, or endless encounters where someone's going to ask you, so what is it you do for a living? In these moments, understand that you are 100% in charge of how you respond to these opportunities. Second, it's about reflection and definition. Now, once you've taken on this responsibility, now you have to figure out exactly how you want to respond for all these opportunities that are gifted to you regularly as an entrepreneur. This means you need to reflect and then define what that response needs to be before it ever happens. It's akin to giving them a window into your startup so that they can see the vision you want them to see. You get to arrange all the furniture in that room, pick out the designs, determine what colors, how big this room will be, or how bright or how dark you want this vision to be. At their core, narratives help identify the things that connect the patterns that create this desired perception. This step is all about reflecting on what you want those things to be, and then defining the patterns you want them to see. Step 3, you gotta believe. It's one thing to say your offering is the best solution in the world, but it's quite another thing to deliver that story with belief and conviction. Whether that's in person, on the phone, or maybe it's a video, or even in written format. Belief matters, delivery matters, tonality matters, projection matters. As a producer, I learned this years ago because I noticed massive differences in the entrepreneurs I was interviewing. Highly successful founders had this aura about confidence and conviction that lit up rooms and that came alive on camera. Because the opposite is true as well. If you don't believe in what you're doing, it's going to show on camera. If you don't have conviction that your product or service is the best option, they're going to hear it in your voice. And if you truly don't buy into your own Kool-Aid, they're going to feel it in your writing, whether that's an email or something that you texted to them, or a letter that they get. Especially right now when the world is upside down, you have to let people know with absolute certainty that you're gonna make it through this regardless of what comes and be successful. Now, this doesn't mean being unrealistically optimistic about the situation or putting blinders on to reality of what's happening, because that's not gonna serve you well, and it's probably gonna hurt your chances with your target audience. Bottom line, you cannot expect them to believe in you unless you let them know you believe in yourself. And finally, step 4, you got to permeate it in everything that you're doing. When you're given the opportunity to share your story, you want to immediately grab their attention and then start sucking them into your vision. Whether that means making a bold statement about what you stand for, that we're going to get through this, or showing them a powerful visual that shows your commitment, such as a picture of a loved one that you're doing this for, or standing on a table in the front of the room and playing that rocky theme, Gonna Fly Now, right before you get on the phone to deliver your pitch. You want to integrate that narrative, that theme, that energy every time you share your story, especially at the very beginning and then throughout the delivery, so that you want to make sure that they associate this mantra, this belief, this conviction with you and your business. What you want to do is realize and embrace this idea of controlling the narrative. You are 100% the author of your story, so you want to take advantage and own this fact, and not let someone else write it for you. Take time to figure out what you want that narrative to be, making sure it is concise and relatable. Then go out and evangelize it to the world and use your story as evidence you are destined to bring this vision to life. Paint that kind of compelling picture and you're soon going to find people shouting out your narrative right along with you. Thanks for watching and keep those hands clean.